talking.
Yeah, but
I mean, he can lower the volume there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, then. So, I mean,
Yo.
I mean,
Run it.
1, 2, 3.
Yo.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, man? It's AJ the franchise.
King Book.
And your boy Ben the Great.
Hey, and this is Talking Real Spill Podcast, y'all.
Sir.
Hey, yeah, we're a Spill Podcast. So we basically just chop it up with you about everyday life topics, man, and probably expose you to some things you may or may not know, man. But with that being said, man, we are in no way gurus about anything we're going to discuss, man. So we not teaching you. We just exposing you, just giving
And sharing
you a
our
look at our
experiences,
knowledge.
you know.
Yeah.
Just giving you some of our experiences, things that we didn't seen and may not seen. We studying, but we not no experts. So, hey,
Right.
don't go to the bank with it, but working on it.
Right, definitely.
So
So today we wanted to break down the topic of wholesaling. We talked about it on our first podcast, and we did go over it a lot, but it was a little bit more information that we wanted to break down, you know, just for the people that was, you know, just kind of starting out in this business. Like if they were just jumping off the porch and, you know, was just wanted to dive into wholesaling or real estate,
Right.
you know.
Right.
So that's mainly what today is going to be about.
And we're going to break down the process, you know, the whole process of wholesaling, exactly what you need to do, and as far as finding the properties, finding the buyers, and focusing on the title company, situations like that.
So, well, with that being said, since y'all have more of the knowledge of the wholesaling, I'm kind of, you know, just checking it out from the outside, man.
Right.
Won't y'all let us know, let me know, let the people know, how did y'all get started? I mean, like, what was from the jump? What did y'all do to get into it, man?
Well, go ahead, Book.
Man, before I even get into that, I really want to break down what wholesaling is. And that is the art of finding a property that you will not necessarily the owner of, but you get it under contract, and then you find a buyer who isn't usually an investor or someone who wants to have the ability to fix the property, fix it up, and then move on and make some money out of it. So that's the buyer. You want to find people like that is going to invest and buy that property to where you make a profit. You the middleman in between. That's all it is. You the middleman in between.
So just to elaborate on that a little bit. So if I'm a wholesaler, I will basically, it'll be an A, B to C process. From the A standpoint, this will be the point of going to find the sellers, trying to find those deals, and trying to find these, these sellers that's trying to get rid of their properties, whether, you know, whatever, it may be distressed, it may be foreclosed, it may be, you know, divorce, it may be, you know, a long list of things, maybe tired landlords, anything like that. So what the A process is you getting that contract you really want to get it to a good 70% investment or 75% investment, because, you know, on the buyer side, that's kind of what they looking for when they buying property. So you will try to get it the property down to a good low number. So, you know, you will get the contract, and you will after you get the contract with the seller, you will send that contract over there to the title company.
Exactly. And once you send it to the title company, you want to start finding buyers. But the reason you send it to the title company first is that's one of the first questions that they're going to ask you. Is title open? That's one of the first questions any experienced investor is going to ask, is title open? But not only is that good for them, it's good for you to figure out if the property has any liens on it, if there's any issues with ownership, if there any hairship. So once you run at the title, it's going to let you know all of the ugly stuff that may prevent it from going through. So you want to have that process started even before or while you still shopping for a buyer.
Right. Okay, so...
Hold on. Let me ask you real quick. I heard you say you want to get it to 75%. Is that, when you say that, you know, just for the people out there that don't know nothing
that
about
means
nothing.
70% of ARV. You know, so whatever a home can be fixed up for, let's say a house in the neighborhood. Usually a house fixed up real nice is going for $245. So you want to multiply 70% and that will be the starting point. You know, because you still have to focus on the repairs.
Yep.
You still have to throw in your assignment fee
Yep.
before you chop down and say, "Hey, this is going to be the price that I offer them," or get the property under contract for.
Exactly.
That's good.
Yeah. Okay. So just to go back to what we were saying. Okay. So that's the A side of it. The B side of it is you getting the buyer. So
that would be the
the
B.
The B to C
the
side.
B.
I'm sorry. So that's the B to the C side. So basically, after you get this contract and you got everything going at the title company, you got everything rolling, you will need to find a buyer for these properties. So you can basically get your assignment fee that you're trying to get out of the deal. So what you'll do is you can go on Facebook. You can go, there's plenty of websites. Just Instagram. You can find groups and stuff like that, and just network.
Meetups. They are abundance at the time. Right now, it's kind of maybe not as easy to find with the COVID, but now that they're lifting some of these bans, they're going to be a lot of more meetups and investment groups to where they have conjunctions where everybody come out, mingle, network, and those are great places where you find people who's really finding properties. Another great place is hopefully they're going to be opening up soon. Auctions. When they have these auctions, they're public, when they showing different properties and people come in and bid on these. Everybody don't leave with what they want. And you can be right there, Johnny on the spot. Well, hey, I got this property at this location for this number, and then bam, you got your sale. So those are different ways of finding those properties. And that's just really a good way of finding buyers.
Exactly.
So what about like far as the deals, like finding the deals? Like were y'all still doing the I know when my wife was getting into it, the driving for dollars and like just to find these deals, you know what I'm saying?
So let's kind of elaborate on that a little bit. So for the guys that, like I said, that's just jumping into it, don't know anything about real estate, wholesale, anything. Driving for dollars is basically you going out there in your car and driving around looking for properties, distressed properties, like looking like it's a lot of grass, if it's a house that's beat up, looking like it's not really taken care of, might have some some houses that got for sale signed by owners, so that's basically what driving for dollar is. And so that's kind of the term that people go on off of, just riding around and actually finding a deal, because at the end of the day you getting dollars for it's initially driving.
And it is it's not magic, you know what I'm saying? It is a process as far as now you find the address, then what? And from there you gotta find the owner of their property. Sometimes the best way to do it is here in Harris County is HCAD. You're gonna find on public county record who was the owner of their property. And then from there, there's numerous of skip tracing venues. I like to go with ones that's free. Now again, you get what you pay for. Sometimes that's not always accurate, but hey, it'll get the job done. You get you a couple deals, and then you'll be able to afford that good skip tracing that's going to get you the exact name, no more so the exact number or the contact information to find that seller. Because those are the properties that's most profitable. The ones that you can't find when you just look up and they got 8 numbers and none of them work. Those are the properties that's most profitable, because those are the headaches that most people won't go through or get to get that property.
Exactly. And and I was just speaking on, that's just somebody who didn't have no money and was coming into it and, didn't have the money for skip trace purchases or list purchases and stuff like that. So, if you was, just had a little change, just left over, from working, or just had a little money to invest in your business, there is other streams that you can hit up, like prop stream, batch leads. There's Mojo Dollar, it's REI Reply.
And this all to find the deals?
Yes.
Solely on finding the properties.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying solely on these are lists that solely on finding the properties, because even after that, you have to get in touch with these people. A lot of these softwares and lists, they have multiple numbers where you have to call and you have to dial and figure out which is the person that you need to talk to. And the big trend, or really the smart thing to do, is hire some VAs. You know what I'm saying? Have people do that
also,
for
you got somebody that's actually making the calls for you while you probably catching up on other leads and stuff. Right?
So
And
let's break that down a little bit. You know, for the guys that don't know what VAs are. You know, so VAs are virtual assistants. So usually these guys are the guys that's working, you know, over there in the Philippines area or overseas
multiple
somewhere.
places, man.
Yeah, multiple places.
Virtual assistants here. I've had people offer their services that's right here in the Houston area.
Right.
Maybe a little bit more expensive.
Might be a little bit more expensive, yeah. I know on the other side of the, you know, of the sea, man, it's kind of way more cheaper. You know, they kind of work for, you know, little or nothing. You know, $2-4 an hour. You know, sometimes it may be a little high, just depending on, you know, how professional
what the currency is. You know, how high our currency is.
Right. And I actually had a VA myself. You know, I'd experienced. You know, I was, you know, doing a lot of collaboration and, like I was saying, doing the same steps that we told y'all, you know, doing the Facebook thing, networking with people, you know, getting people to, you know, let me work on their deals with them, JV with them, you know what I'm saying? And with that, you know, I built, you know, kind of, you know, a list to where, you know, I didn't really have the room to really work on it because, you know, I was working 12 hours a day because I was still in NOV working in the oil field. You know, so it was hard to try to, you know, on your lunch break or your free time, you know, try to contact these sellers or these wholesalers or these buyers, and, you know, and still try to get this stuff done. So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, still kind of worked out. But, you know, so what I did was VA actually hit me up on Facebook. And they were saying that, you know, they wanted to do service with me. And so we made a little agreement. He actually was working part-time for me. And he asked for like $2 an hour, man. And so I worked him for like, you know, I think it was like 8 hours, you know, a day. I think it was like 8 hours a day, but it wasn't too long. I think I worked him like 3 times a week. And, you know, it worked out. He was pretty good. Like, he actually, but, you know, it's part-time, so, you know, really wasn't full. But, you know, he was, you know, calling the list I sent him. You know, he was doing a lot of the calling, the cold calling for me. And, you know, and it actually was working out. But the only problem with that is I didn't have a good list to give them. So when it came down to, you know, these sellers that we were trying to reach out to, we actually couldn't reach them because we had bad numbers. And so I had to, you know, go back and reiterate my platform and actually find a way to get better numbers. So, you know, I kind of had to lay them off at the time, but I actually got better. That's what I took that, you know, that fault and actually, you know, crafted it, you know, and then that's when I start finding better websites to find, you know, phone numbers and stuff like that. So, you know, that's just, you know, my little story.
I heard you earlier. You said JV with somebody. If I'm not mistaken, that's like a joint venture. Or something,
joint
right?
venture.
Yeah, I know.
Joint venture. Yeah.
I was studying a little bit, man. But
right.
again, you know, y'all got to slow it down, like myself and other cats. So, what's the JV for us that don't know?
Okay. All right. You want to break that down, Bud?
JV, that's basically a simple agreement, whether it's a 50%. Usually, traditionally, it's 50%. You're going to split it right there in the middle. Sometimes you can just partner with someone and y'all will break it down to where, since it's my deal, it's 60-40, or, you know, whatever it is that I would agree or we would agree on. We're just partnering with someone, but it's something on paper that you send the title in addition to the contract that's going to solidify the deal, and everybody's going to get paid.
Right.
So that's why it's really important. I guess the beat that I cut you off on is not only you, it's the title company. Mm-hmm. It's the title company. You have to find good investor title companies that will not only do the research for your deals, but be able to, you know, practically make sure everything happens, and they do it in a timely manner, because those are the drivers of the properties, you know, all the way up and down. Mm-hmm. The beauty about them, like I said before, they're gonna see if there's any liens, if there's any problems that's going to prevent your property from being sold. Right. So that would be the B segment of the ABC in the equation.
Right. Yep. That title company, definitely.
And it's just real important that you have a good few title companies on your team.
Yeah. And, you know, just to help the guys out that want to, you know, jump into it, you know, just from the people that we've been dealing with, we do deal with patent title company. We did some work with Capital Title Company. There's another title company called Patriot, Chicago. So, you know, those are just a few title companies that's good, you know, for the wholesaling, and they, you know, they also handle, you know, double closing and stuff like that.
Those are situations. The double closing is where, you know, you have separate transactions. Traditionally, on a hood, you're going to see everybody. You know,
Right.
the person who's selling the contract, the person who's selling the property, the person who's buying it.
Yeah.
Not only you going to see who's doing it, you're going to see how much they making.
Mhm.
Sometimes you don't really want that.
Exactly.
Sometimes
Exactly.
you don't want that.
That's
you know?
right.
Not necessarily saying that we getting over on people,
Yeah.
because wholesaling can have that negative connotation where
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
are
I've seen it.
swindling people out of their property.
Right.
No, we're helping people out of problems. You know,
Yeah.
situations where they are either behind on some taxes or the property is
Right.
no longer income producing.
Right.
Here we are offering a solution to where
Yeah.
they can find some money right now
Something
Mhm.
they couldn't do themselves.
in their pocket.
And they
you
don't
know,
have to
and
put no money into the property.
You don't have to
and
worry about
repairs,
fixing it up.
Nothing.
You don't worry about having to pay an agent. You don't worry, you know what I mean? Once we agree to a certain time frame, especially if you're dealing with a good wholesaler like
Right.
us,
Right.
we're going to execute and make sure that the property is sold within that time frame. So
Right.
you don't have to worry about your property sitting on the market 50, 60 days, because what that does is just make your property less valuable.
Right,
You know?
right.
So that's why it's really in the seller's advantage to use, quote unquote, a wholesaler or an investor.
Right. It's kind of bada bing, bada boom with us,
Right.
you know.
Right.
You don't have to go to, so many hurdles, when dealing with the wholesale game. I feel like, it's kind of like, it's like I said, an A, B to C thing. So once we get the contract, we get a title company, we get it to a buyer, and it's done. It's not going through all these realtors, brokers, all these fees that you have to pay, all of this extra stuff. So, not downplaying on the realtors and stuff like that.
Because that's a profession. And I
exactly.
think we should continue to work together. Like I said, it has been a negative image of wholesalers. People have this negative idea of what wholesalers do, and everybody hates us. But in all actuality, the game is transitioned to everybody want to be us.
Right.
So
definitely.
just understanding
It got real big.
Yeah.
it has gotten real big because of what it can do.
And how fast.
And how fast you can build capital. To me, that's the intro to real estate. That's why we came back and made this segment of bigger importance is to understand how you can use it without putting any money. And I've heard people say that's why they hate wholesaling.
Exactly.
I was just listening
It's crazy.
DJ Envy and some other guy he was with saying he hates wholesalers because they are able to make money without spending money.
Right.
I mean, he's very, very, very successful.
Oh, yeah,
but I can't
definitely.
knock nobody else for doing something smarter.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So when you
And I
look
watched
at it
that
like that, I
podcast,
can
too.
build my capital and not spend money.
Yeah. Why not? Why wouldn't you?
Why not?
Exactly.
Why not?
Man, I just want to touch real quick, man. That like it was big. What y'all talking about the title companies, man? Because I actually remember, like I say, my wife and myself was actually, gonna get into this, man. We didn't at the time, but it's definitely something we're coming back to. But I remember when I was in college, YouTube University, learning and trying to learn or whatever.
Yeah, YouTube University.
And man, I would see stories after stories, man, about them talking about how important it is to really make sure that property, like, because even though they say now everything's good or whatever, it's real important to make sure, with these title companies, a good title company, that everything is good, because you can get to the point where you're supposed to be getting your money,
Right.
and then boom, something pop up,
Right.
and that can
And
crash
so,
the whole deal.
yeah,
man.
and so
That's
just
crazy.
speaking from like my experience, like when I came in it, like I had a couple of deals, and I was just working so hard just to get a deal. So I was cold calling, and did we even break down cold calling? Let's break that down a little bit. So cold calling is basically like calling sellers
Multiple
phone, you're calling these sellers trying to get these properties, and that's basically if you picking up that phone and calling these people and trying to get these people to get you a contract,
Hung up on them.
So that's what cold calling is, So I was cold calling, and I was doing bandit signs. And what bandit signs are like basically what you see like when you riding around. Sometimes you see those garage
They do
sale,
They do work.
yeah. You see those garage sale signs out there in the yard, or you know, we buy houses or you know stuff like that. So that's what the business side is. So I went out there. I had bought like 50 business sides, and while I was delivering them, I was delivering them like on all like sides of Houston. So I was going to the north side, to Cypress. I was going to Katy. I was going to you know, to my side, like over there in you know, on the southwest side. So you know, I just wanted to put them everywhere, and it did kind of work, but I did have a few calls, but it was more like on educational purposes. Like they called and it was like more like, you know, how did I start, you know, doing this wholesaling? How long I was doing it, you know, and you know what was my experiences in it. So you know, that was that, and you know, when I did finally get my first deal, I think it was in like Huffman, Texas. It was such a bad area to get it, but I was just so happy to get a first yes. That I didn't want to work with me on a property, you know, on the contract. So
exciting.
Yeah, man. So I had DocuSign, got a little DocuSign, you know, signed up, and I sent the guy over the contract. You know, I filled it out and everything, sent it over to him, and he signed it like, you know, like a couple of minutes later. And right then from there, I was just like, you know, what I do from here, because I was working so hard just on trying to find that deal that I didn't even think about, like, exactly. I wasn't even thinking about like,
so
like where's the buyer.
That's
the
balance, I guess, that a person has to find is, what do I put my focus on? Should I go out here and try to find all these properties, all these sellers? You know, because now you can put all your energy in that. Well, now you got it. It's like, okay, well, who I sell it to? Or do I go out here and find these buyers who want to, you know, find these properties? You know, they want to have a certain criteria. They want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It got to be 1,200 square feet. They need to be a flat. Or do they want a 5-bedroom, 3-bath? It has to be a 2-story. You know, it has to be in this certain area. It has to be a hard brick home. You know,
so those criteria definitely all fit in.
All of these types of buyers, you know, they have, whether they looking for a flip or they looking for a rental. You know, certain buyers are looking for certain things. But knowing what they want could expedite the process of getting the property sold. So a lot of people feel like that's really the way to go. You need to find your buyers first. See what they're looking for, exactly what they're looking for, and then go out into the market and then try to replicate that, and then make the profit what's in between.
Exactly, because that's definitely my lesson, like learn. And if I would have did it any way different, that's the way I would have did it. Because like I said, I had these deals, but I didn't have a buyer for them, and you know, I felt bad just, you know, not being able to accomplish, you know, that you know, that agreement that I made with the seller, you know, and that just made me, you know, so that just made me just refilter my whole game plan, and I just, you know, I start reaching out to more buyers. I start doing more connections with buyers and investors, and you know, from there I start seeing like a big, you know, turn point. You know, so
moving it up quick and everything like that.
Yeah, definitely. So that's how
both of y'all are saying y'all think it's a better approach to have your buyers first and then go out and actually try to get those deals. I mean, or have at least, you know, at least have some buyers on the team.
In all honesty, yes. If you're working by yourself, it probably is best to try to go that format. It's just from my experience. It may work different from other people. But if you say what is more efficient, I say you create a system or a team to do both. To where one side of the team or one person is focusing on finding these properties, or they focus on finding these people who trying to sell these properties. And then the other side of the team, other person focuses on trying to find people to buy these properties. So once you do that, you autonomize the whole process to where wholesaling is just a well-oiled machine that's creating capital. You know, if everything is working like it should.
See, that's why this podcast is gonna be here, man. So we can on everything kind of maybe help some people speed up the process that took y'all so long, and that took me so long. So that's why we gonna, you know, do it the way we're doing it, so we can kind of alleviate some of those bumps and bruises that you know that we had to face.
Try to navigate, because to me, it's everything that we're gonna talk about is really for the community. You know, if you're a person of color, you can utilize this to kind of level the playing field. So
Right.
whether you want to admit it or not, we've been at a disadvantage. If you open your eyes, we've been kind of at a disadvantage.
Oh, yeah.
Running up an uphill,
Right.
Yeah.
fighting that battle.
Right.
But having all
It's
these different
starting
things to what we're
man.
talking about, it's starting
Yeah,
to change.
it's starting
No
to-
doubt about it.
Starting
Yeah.
to level out, man. It's
Right.
starting
So
to,
you don't want to miss these opportunities.
Facts.
You know, you
Facts.
can get left behind if you
Don't
don't
be scared,
jump on
man.
board or you operate in fear or
Right.
doubt
Right.
or
Yeah.
you know you listen to what the masses are saying.
Mhm.
You're gonna fool around and be in the worst situation that you are. But
Right.
if you just capitalize on the opportunities being presented, you know,
Yeah.
take wind of
Right.
the information
Mhm.
that's making people millionaires.
Right.
You know, hey, it's gonna be a mass transfer of wealth.
Exactly.
I
That's
said it.
all we trying to do, man. Is share the wealth, man, and try to give y'all all the information that we actually done ourselves. Like we not gonna tell y'all anything that we haven't done ourselves. And then with that, we still want y'all to go out and do y'all research and
Facts.
don't just listen
Take
to
what
us
we
and
saying
then
as
go
gold.
run with it. Definitely. So just take that and we go run with it, man. So
all
next-
of that. That sound good, man.
But that's, you know what, like, man, before we get out of here or whatever, man, I do want to say, man, like, again, man, this platform, man, I'm just thinking, what it's gonna do for us, for our kids, just like you say, for the community, man.
Mhm.
Like, one of our biggest disadvantages was lack of information, not knowing. You know what I'm saying? So some of the stuff that we've been through and that we went through, or that we are learning right now, we putting it out there. That's all we doing, man. We putting it out there. So please take heed, man. Take what you can take from it. We don't know everything. We know a little bit about a little bit. Take what you can take
just
from
trying
it.
to put everybody
and
in a better place.
Yeah, man.
That's
We help
all.
each other, man. So
Yeah, man. Definitely.
that's it, man.
Oh yeah, so we definitely want to shout out to Salsa, man.
Shout out, shout
giving
out
us
to
the
Salsa,
platform,
man. Yes,
man.
sir.
Definitely
Yes,
big
sir.
us to Salsa, man.
Yes, sir.
And you can hit us up on our platforms. We have Facebook going, we have our Instagram going, Snapchat.
YouTube,
You could hit us up
YouTube.
on Facebook. On YouTube under the collaboration. So just be looking out
It's
for
gonna be
us.
a lot of different places. Just look out,
Yeah.
be
Right.
in the know because
Just
we're gonna be
the
hitting you
beginning,
with some
man.
good information
Just
and
the
entertaining
beginning,
too.
man.
Exactly.
Everything,
Definitely,
you gonna learn, put some fat on your brain.
Yeah,
we're
gonna
gonna be
loosen up
talking
a
about
little
some
bit,
hot
man.
topics.
Yeah.
We're gonna be
Yeah.
talking about some stuff that's going on in the
Oh,
culture
hey,
as well.
we got some heat, man.
Next Thursday.
Now I'm just saying some of the other
Yeah.
stuff we somebody we just
Yeah.
couldn't bring it yet, man.
Right,
It's-
right,
we got
right.
some heat, man.
Wow,
We got
okay,
some-
yeah,
got
we
some
definitely
heat,
do. We
man.
definitely do.
Got some heat.
Yeah, so look out for that, man. And we'll catch y'all next Thursday. We will be talking about a little bit of Forex and then trying to break that down, step for step, just kind of how we broke down the wholesaling today,
Yeah.
and just trying to give y'all a little bit light on, the future, I feel like,
Right.
Definitely,
Yeah.
man. Definitely, man. Forex, man, is definitely an avenue out of any situation we in, man. Anything we in that we don't supposed to be in or don't want to be in, man. Forex, man, is the move, man, and I'm in it. Again, I don't know everything, but we moving, man, and I'm finna bring y'all along the journey, man. So we finna.
Right.
Man, this finna be fire, man. This year
Right.
finna be fire. This podcast finna be fire.
Yes,
It's
That's
it's
what's
on,
up.
man.
Well, I'm excited, man.
Right.
Again, it's been a pleasure.
Always,
Very
man.
grateful for the opportunity.
Yes,
And
sir.
again, hit us up.
On the Talking Real Spill podcast on our platforms, on the
Yeah.
Talking Real Spill podcast.
Yes, sir.
All right.
And definitely,
Tune in. We're gonna be coming in real soon. Y'all have a good one.
All right.
And I was trying to tell you, I know Sauce is gonna tell you. Table, you hear all that
Yeah.
shit.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.